Blackpool Pleasure Beach has 10 roller coasters, 4 of which are wooden, 3 manufactured by Arrow, along with a Vekoma SLC, a Mack bobsleigh, and a Mack multi-launch. The roller coasters at Blackpool Pleasure Beach are often known for being rather rough and painful due to the age of them, but are they as painful as everyone makes them out to be? I'm going to be going over every coaster at Blackpool Pleasure Beach and stating whether I think they're rough and painful or not. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I don't have loads of footage, mainly because I haven't had this camera for long, and also because I can't go to Pleasure Beach to film due to what's happening at the moment. Therefore, I might not have the appropriate footage for the ride I'm talking about, and you might see the same footage a couple of times. So I'm going to start by going through the wooden roller coasters, and the one that seems to get the reputation for being rough the most is Grand National. The last sort of painful ride I had on the Grand National was in 2018, presumably in the summer, as I remember lapping it a few times with it being really smooth on the last late night riding of the season. And I actually think that most of the time it is a smooth and enjoyable woody. Moving on then to Big Dipper. If you've seen my review of Big Dipper, you'll know that I find Big Dipper smooth and enjoyable on the non-wheel seats. On wheel seats, Big Dipper can be quite rough and sometimes a bit painful, especially on the back row. On the back row, you're likely to get this big bump at the bottom of the first drop, which can hurt your back quite a lot. And all wheel seats, apart from the front of the train, will give quite a bumpy ride. However, sit on a non-wheel seat and you'll have a nice and smooth ride. Overall, if you sit in the right seats, Big Dipper isn't bad for a coaster that'll be turning 100 years old in a few years. In Nickelodeon Land, the 2 wooden roller coasters are really smooth. Nickelodeon Street provides a nice, smooth, classic family thrill ride, and once again, not bad for a ride that's been operating since 1933. Blue Flyer is, of course, the main junior coaster of the park, so it will likely be the smoothest woody on park. Infusion is a relocated standard layout Vekoma SLC, and Vekoma SLCs are very well known for being some of the roughest rides in the industry. I guess this can be said about Infusion. This is the only standard layout SLC I've done, and I believe there are worse ones out there, but Infusion isn't a pleasant ride experience. Most of the time, it will be quite rough, banging your head side to side on the hard and uncomfortable restraints. And skinny people like me can sometimes just get thrown and jolted around the seat, which isn't fun. As I mentioned, the restraints are not the best. They're pretty restrictive with this big thing, I don't know what it's called, that kind of comes out of the OTSR that you bang your head and ears on. It would be interesting to see if Infusion would benefit from the newer SLC restraints, as the one it has now make Infusion quite uncomfortable and painful. However, if you're lucky, you can have quite a smooth-ish ride on Infusion, where it won't be that bad and it will be quite smooth. But even if that's the case when I ride it, I can't enjoy it properly, as I'll always be scared of how bad the ride's going to be when I'm going up the lift hill. And that's not what a roller coaster should be like. So overall, Infusion is most likely to be an uncomfortable ride, but I do like to appreciate rides for what they are, and Infusion does look good off-ride, and it attracts the general public to Pleasure Beach, so it's okay. Steeplechase is a coaster that I don't ride that often. There just isn't much to it in my opinion, whether it's painful or not. Sometimes the corners can be quite painful, and you're likely to hit your leg on the seat whilst being smacked side to side on the majority of the turns. Avalanche is another coaster that I don't ride often. I'm not a massive fan. You need to be careful sometimes on the turn before the camera, as I've ended up hitting my head on the back of the carriage, which isn't exactly soft. Apart from that, it's okay. It can be quite bumpy nowadays, but it's nothing extreme. The big one. Some say it's smooth, some say it's rough. And in 2019, I didn't really enjoy the big one at all. It was quite rough and just not enjoyable for me. In 2020, it's been completely different so far. Some of the big one was retracked over winter, and that's made a huge difference. And it seems like they've done more than just retract a small bit of the coaster. On its smoothest rides I've ever retract that. So, the big one used to be rough, but in 2020, with the few rides that I was able to have on it, cheers Storm Dennis, It's been a very smooth and fun ride. Revolution isn't rough or painful. I don't really have anything else to say on that. And finally, Icon. Once again, not rough or painful. It's a very smooth mat coaster with very comfortable mat restraints. So overall, I don't think a lot of the coasters are rough as people say they are. The woodies are smooth, sometimes only on certain rows, and yes, Infusion just isn't great, but you can be lucky if you're lucky. So thank you for watching this video. Once again, sorry for the repetitive footage and whatnot. I hope everyone's doing well during these not so great times. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.